Welcome back, my friends. Here we are. We are episode 3 in, and so excited that you've decided to join us again. And for those of you who are watching us for the very first time, I want to personally welcome you. My name is Erika Gerena. My co-host is Jim Dempsey. You're going to get here over 50 years of experience of 2 individuals serving the nonprofit sector. And we have done so in all areas and sectors of society. And we've also done it at the local, regional, national, and international level. I welcome your comments, suggestions, topics. Where are you working right now? What kind of nonprofit are you representing? And I would love to hear any questions that you have. And because I eventually want to start just like a Q&A. I want to have one of those kinds of episodes. And so your voice matters. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of my community. I'm so excited to share even more goodies as we continue on this journey. So without further ado, in this episode, we're going to learn a little bit of what it takes to create a mission statement. Now, it's all about having a plan and how important it is to have that definition in front of you so that you're focused. You can invite people into an exciting opportunity to serve a need that community has. So without further ado, welcome to episode 3, Creating Your Mission Statement. Welcome back, folks. I am Erika Gerena, and I have here with me my wonderful co-host, the one and only Jim Dempsey. And so we just want to walk you through, how do you actually come up with that? So just to kick us off, I want to define what a mission statement is. So and the important kind of points about it. So strong nonprofit mission statement plainly states what the nonprofit is about, motivating board, staff, and volunteers to do the work to fulfill the mission. And it clearly articulates to the public what your nonprofit does so they understand what you do and how you're making a difference. So Jim, break that down for us now. Say it in a different way.
Well, absolutely. And you talked about a popular, it might not be the most popular, but it actually is the most important thing an organization could do. Because as my belief is that this is your plumb line, your why you exist, what your organization is supposed to do. All those kinds of things all come down to this, and this will keep you on target. If you sent off a rocket to the moon, what you don't need is the trajectory to be changing at all. Because honestly, pointing a rocket to the moon, it can get off target very easily with the slightest little adjustment. And your organization's exactly the same way. It just small adjustments are here or there can get you way off target. And this is our target. This is our plumb line. And we've got to use this as the way to direct us down the right path.
So again, the statement is really about what your nonprofit is about. And then the second kind of point is that the mission statement provides perfect clarity behind the what, the who, and the why of your company. So if you heard in a previous episode that we have done, I talked about getting comfortable with your own story. Like, what is your why? When you look at your past life and all the things that you've experienced and overcome, and what is the story of your life? So the problem that you're solving, get comfortable in sharing what that is. What is the story behind that? What is the why behind that? Because that is really the part that motivates people so much. I watch Shark Tank. I love that show. And they often talk about including the entrepreneur's personal story into the branding of what it is that they do, because they say it connects people on a very, very different level. And kind of one of the other things I want to say is it's very helpful because it also can tell you what you should not be doing. So, and for nonprofits, it can be very, very tempting, because if I have a donor that's like, hey, have you thought of, and hey, I'll fully fund that for you, by the way. It's always very tempting for the nonprofit to try to fit whatever it is into that little mission statement and try to kind of accommodate and adjust that mission statement. But it's actually helpful in telling you what you should not be doing. So
Oh, absolutely. Well, and branding is such an important part of a nonprofit organization. Where are you headed? Where are you going? And you talked about weaving in a story for someone. And as an old guy, I can remember a guy by the name of Victor Kayam who started. His theme was that he liked Remington razors so much he bought the company, and that was a unique approach to it. It was, he found a good product and he decided to buy the company, and that was his shtick. That was his approach to branding and marketing. And your mission statement is such an important part of your branding and your marketing.
That's so good. Jim, I wish there's a lot of products that I like, but I don't go out there just buying them,
Right.
buying the whole company. What a
Sure, exactly.
privilege that is. Yeah.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah.
Oh, what an opportunity. But and then the kind of the other thing is that it typically your mission statement doesn't exceed more than 3 sentences, 1 to 3. And even 3 is kind of long, to be honest with you. What do you think about that? Like how long?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, some of the most effective ones are really even one line. You've got to, as long as you can make sure you're covering your key items, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it could be as short as one line. The one thing it's got to stick though. That's the important thing. Your organization, for it to really thrive and see success, is that you've got to make sure that it sticks within your whole organization. So it can't be so complicated that people don't understand it. Organizations like Ritz Carlton and Apple Computer, those companies all have mission statements that everyone from the board of directors to the president down to the last staff member understand what the mission of that organization is, and they can state that. And so, 3 lines, 3 paragraphs, like I've seen some mission statements, nobody's going to remember those kinds of things. And that's where I've seen problems. I've gone in and tried to coach nonprofit organizations and boards, and found that the board, the president, and the staff all have different understandings of what the mission statement is, and that could be one of the definitions of chaos.
It is. And, I get into this in one of the courses that I offer in training about the importance of consistency and messaging. Because what people don't understand is that if every person within your organization, when I ask them what it is that you do, everyone has a different answer, it immediately breaks the trust from the individual. They're saying, I can't trust that what you say you're going to do, you're actually going to do it, because you don't even know who you are. And that comes all the way from personal, all the way to organizational. So I often walk through exercises with people on first getting comfortable with this idea on a personal level. Like, what is
Yeah,
your personal mission statement? Because that too is going to help you when you're trying to identify what nonprofit to volunteer for, or what kind of nonprofit you want to work for. It's helpful if you know what your personal mission statement is, because it does the same exact thing. It helps you to know what to go towards and what to stay away from. So kind
Erica, you're getting a little scary now. You're
of,
getting into the personal, where people actually have to understand why they exist and why they're here. You're talking about a personal mission statement. Oh man, that's delving into the personal.
and I'm telling you, it has really been so helpful for me. And it's something I have to constantly revisit. I mean, Jim, you and I, we will have 140 jobs for the rest of our lives, because
Right,
we're such
right.
go-getters, and we love, the multitask. We love to build things, we want to blow things up, and I was just mentioning like how, somebody will come to me with an idea and they'll say, oh, Erica, I just want to do this, simple project. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you should partner with this organization and this business. You could blow that thing up. And how people's fear in their eyes like come through. But it's so important that you know who you are. And identity is a very, very, very important part of your mission statement, because that's that's why it's important to kind of come up with this and it be consistent, because it's the identity of your organization, and it's what you're going to have to live with forever, for the.
Yeah. And in fact, unfortunately, I've seen it be the downfall of some nonprofit organizations is that somebody is carrying a burden or a guilt, that and baggage, really, I guess that could be construed as in their life that they carry to that nonprofit organization, and they should be not doing anything like the cause of that organization. But unfortunately, because they don't understand themselves well enough, they don't understand the pain maybe that they're dealing with in their lives. They'll want to solve that problem
Mhm.
by getting involved in a nonprofit organization and trying to make a difference. And that's the last thing they should be doing.
Yes, that is so good. And I'm saying, like, this sector is one of service, and you're taking a posture of service, and it's servant leadership when you are working within a nonprofit organization. So there are a few things you have to settle within yourself in doing this work in service to others, because you can cause a lot of harm, or you can move people towards, really healing and restoration. And it can be a very beautiful thing. And so you might think, wow, crafting a mission statement, why are they getting so deep on something so simple? But because it's so
Mm.
rooted in the identity and who you want to be, how you want to serve, how you want to love and care for other people. And it's not just those who are recipients of your organization, but all of those involved in the organization and who come alongside of you. And it's really beautiful. And even in the hiring process, sometimes I've seen leaders just want to fill a hole so badly, so quickly. They will just hire, like, okay, resume looks great. They check all of the things. They have the right degree. They have the right, practice, whatever. And you don't sit with the individual and to your point, the individual hasn't done the work personally. Like, what is your personal mission statement? What do you desire to do? It is an invitation into a journey, into a different kind of lifestyle. I mean, I
Mm.
think the work of nonprofit is not, you don't clock in and clock out. It becomes a lifestyle, a way in which you live in service to other people. And so creating a mission statement, aligning who you are with that organization and their work, the more authentic you are about who you are, and the more authentic the organization is about who they are, the clearer that you can be in moving forward and building that dream out, on different kind of levels. Um,
Yeah.
so let's
So
provide
true.
people with some examples of, like, what some of those mission statements are, Jim. What are a couple that come to mind for you?
Well, I would say, from my standpoint, and I've really, I mentioned Ritz Carlton earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it doesn't. In a way, it doesn't get any simpler than that. But that's the beauty of it. That's what makes it
That's
so.
really what it is? I didn't
It
even know
really
that.
is.
That's
Yeah.
so pretty.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean it really, and it's so perfect, so simple. It's one of those things that communicate so effectively to a mission statement and to an audience. Remember, a good mission statement is going to always include the the target audience that you have. It's going to include the services that you provide, and then what is the outcome? What needs to
Oh, yeah.
happen as a result of what you're trying to do? So that's so important, and the simpler the better. I think of Tesla to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. That's their mission. That's what they're hoping to accomplish. And so those are the kinds of things. It really can't be too complicated. It's got to be simple. How about you? What are some of your favorite ones?
So I love TED, like TED Talks. I love
Mm.
TED Talks. And I think I love theirs. Spread ideas. That's it.
Mm, I
That's
love
the
it.
mission statement. And it's so crazy because it's only 2 words, but it says so much.
It does.
I'm like, wow, why didn't I think of that? I am, as a Latina, I am always finding more words to use. So I'm trying to
Oh,
always use less words, you know? And I'm like, man, that's so genius. Why couldn't I think of that? So with TED, I really love that they have spread ideas.
mm,
LinkedIn, which we all know, we've all grown to love and learn about. But LinkedIn is to connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful.
mm,
And I think that also kind of in my head, I always say at the end of a mission statement, that's what we do.
mm,
And it's like, if it doesn't make sense to say, and that's what we do at whatever it is that you're saying, it probably is not the right mission statement, you
mm.
know? And so it's kind of just like an insider kind of note for me in my own mind. So I'm saying spread ideas. That's what we do,
Right.
to connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. Like good examples, and with Tesla, and again, like let's use the example of Tesla. So to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Now, nonprofits out there, I'm going to give you a little insider thing. Now we're talking about strategic partnerships here. Why your mission statement is important. In the context of strategic partnerships, you can say, all right, if Tesla is about accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy, if I'm an organization, a nonprofit that is focusing on the planet or going green or anything around that sustainable energy, Tesla would be a good company to want to align my nonprofit organization with. So when you
Right.
think about those mission statements, and I was saying how they can connect, like you, when you know what yours is and how it connects to the organization you're serving and working with, it's the same when you're dealing with partnerships now. Because now I, as a person, can approach Tesla and say, have you considered any like philanthropic programs for your employees or for your staff? Or have you considered investing into these areas of what it is that we're trying to do? Those are the kinds of partnerships and strategic alliances that occur, that can bring funding, that can bring more resources, that can bring more volunteers to your organization. And you can just think of creative ways to kind of fill the gaps of different needs and resources that you have, that you need for your organization. So again, that's another reason why the mission statement is so important. And as you find yours, you can look to others to say, kind of do that in practice, to say, what would be some of the corporations that would be good for our nonprofit to partner with, where we are in alignment with our mission statements.
Right. Absolutely.
So that, I think, is a wrap for our mission statement part. And there's another thing that we're going to unpack that's talking more about effectively communicating your mission on our next episode. So we will see you there. Until next time, have a wonderful day from Erika and Jim.
Bye bye, everyone.